All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is facing yet another scandal. Remember, Johnson had been facing accusations of sleaze and also his very poor handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. And now, one of the papers in Britain, Guardian, has decided to publish a pretty interesting photograph of the sitting Prime Minister in the United Kingdom having wine and cheese in his own garden in number 10 Downing Street. The published picture is from the 15th of May, back in 2020. It was taken in the garden of his Downing Street residence. The Prime Minister and his wife are seen sitting at the table, and there are 13 other people who are seen with bottles of wine nearby. Now, this picture has raised some serious questions over Downing Street's repeated claims. The officials had said that work meetings were taking place at the time, but the picture tells a completely different story altogether. The moment captures looks more like a social event where Boris Johnson and his wife are interacting with a few other members. We're given to understand that there were a total of 17 of them. In the May of 2020, remember, the United Kingdom was under a very strict lockdown. At the time, only 2 people from different households could in fact meet outside. And even then, they had to keep a social distance of about 2 meters between them. Now, it was not long after Johnson was discharged from the hospital that he had spent several nights in intensive care unit with COVID-19. On the same day, the then Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, had given a press conference where Hancock had urged people to stick to the COVID-19 rules and not to socialise in groups. This was the rule that the British government had put forth for every single member in the United Kingdom. But here, the Prime Minister was seen socialising with other people in his 10 Downing Street residence. When asked about the picture, a Downing Street spokesperson said that work meetings often take place at the 10 Downing Street garden in the summer months. On this occasion, there were staff meetings following a press briefing. Now, Johnson has been hit by a string of media stories in recent weeks. There are reports of alleged Christmas parties in government offices from last year. The reports have in fact dismayed voters who were told by the government to sacrifice their own Christmas festivities last year. There's also a possibility of curbs being reimposed during the Christmas season this time round as well. And this is, of course, what has raised the question of propriety of a Prime Minister socialising with other members within his own staff at a time when he had advised the rest of the public in his country to not socialise due to COVID-19. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.